necessary. I would ask other people who do think that it
from people in the impoverished areas like in Oakland, Hayward, Ghetto of Fremont, some Alvarado, Union City or something like the South Side, San Jose. Like that's where they get their inspiration from, you know.
A lot of people here in this app and a lot of people around the world to be able to form an opinion. And by the way, I have a background in political science as well, which has been also...
Oh, she has a background in political science!
So it's not like I am... you're treating me or being very condescending and saying or assuming that I know nothing about your constitution and the forming of your country and your history.
I didn't say you know nothing. I said you don't understand the contemporary landscape.
Well, I do believe that I actually do.
Issa, so you say
I'm not trying to make a claim from authority, but I'm just letting you know that it's not like I am just like an internet person that all of a sudden starts talking about U.S. politics. No, I have studied it and I have always been interested in it. And it's like I don't watch the Kardashians. For me, the type of reality show that I watch every fucking day is U.S. politics. I am super hooked.
The United States of America is the best country on earth, and it will remain that way.
Well, I'll say this, Issa. So, like, even in my state, okay, so we had Andy Biggs. He's a Christian nationalist. We have Paul Gosar. He's we all know he's a white nationalist and he's a Christian nationalist. We have what led the state GOP, and she's a state Arizona Senator Wendy Rogers. She's also a self-admitted groiper. She would go to Nick Fuentes' shit, years ago. And these are people that are accepted in the mainstream. We had Carrie Lake, who's a bit of a whack job, but she was running for Senate here. He was also she's also one of those people. I don't think she has a coherent belief, but it is something that is really grown. And I don't, some of them are very loud and vocal online, but you do have politicians who are part of that movement, but they just don't have the inflammatory rhetoric like some of the people online have. But these people absolutely do it.
You know what is maybe this is where Caleb calls me naive, but I think I trust your system much more. I feel that in spirit, I am much more American than you are in this sense because you're...
She's more American than you, Pepe!
The brilliance of your founding fathers. You're unable to see how unique and how amazing it is what they did in your country. I respect your country as like the best thing that has ever happened to history, and even though I would never live in the US, I actually feel in my heart, in my political or philosophical heart that
it's a religion now.
The closest to creating a tangible example out of the philosophy that I live by.
Yep. I think your admiration of the American experiment is lovely. The challenge of self-government, which is the basis of the American experiment, is that the people get to decide. And when the people get to decide, it doesn't matter who those types of people are.
People don't get to decide. This is a republic, not a democracy.
Just because they were created in a certain way, they are protected by people. In America, we have lost the civic ethic of American patriotism that you are suggesting that is a natural extension of the American experiment and philosophy of self-government. It has eroded because we stopped talking about civics, because we stopped talking about, because we stopped talking about the things that you just said are so beautiful. Not everybody in America agrees on that things anymore. Lots of people in America are putting the Bible before the Constitution. That's not what one should do. The Bible is a private matter. You can be as religious as you want. Keep it out of my government. There are now enough people to change elections, to influence voting patterns, and to gain power. And this is a built-in part and a known part from the beginning.
what I
of the American experiment.
Good luck with
The American experiment. I'm going to finish here. Finish right here. I'm going to land right here. I'm going to land right here. Democracies are at risk for having the very things that make them beautiful and phenomenal being used against them to create autocracies and totalitarian government.
For a start, I'm not talking about the philosophy only. I'm talking about the structure. And just to for the record, U.S. is not a democracy. U.S. is a republic. It uses democracy to arrive to that desired government, but it is not a democracy. So what I am referring to is the structure, the checks and balances, the independence of the powers, the constitution preventing
Those are deliberately being eroded.
limiting the powers of the government.
Those checks and balances are being deliberately eroded. Isa, do you not see that? Don't you see that there are people deliberately trying to erase the checks and balances?
Listen, this is.
Don't you see that?
Caleb, you asked me to listen to you. Now I'm asking you to listen to me. Those checks and balances, that system, that creation of a system that is self-corrective.
It's not self-correcting.
Allow a specific ideology to actually get through, because
You don't get it.
it will autocorrect.
I'm sorry, you don't get it.
In order to change that system, you need like almost 100% consensus from the state.
No, you don't.
From the
No.
Yes, you
We're talking past each other.
Congress with 2/3 of the states to vote in favor.
No, in other words,
We're talking past each other, Isa. We're talking past each other. You're talking about the structures. I'm talking about the living out of the structures. The way that this stuff actually is lived out in real life. Okay? And those structures that are so beautiful, that I believe in too, the same way as you do, are only as good as the people willing to defend them. And there are people who are deliberately trying to undo the beauty of those things, to undermine the checks and balances that we hope will just work on their own. None of this stuff works on their own. It works because people every day make decisions to preserve and defend those principles. There are people in great places of power now who are trying to undermine those systems.
Yeah, but that's not like. Yes, I agree that there are people that are trying to degrade the Constitution, but in the case of this Christian national thing, dude, that's not how that would play out at all.
Of course it is. They're telling you deliberately that they don't think the Constitution, they want the title to be the Constitution.
Okay, and so how do you think that
What don't you get?
actually works? Wait. So again, so you think? So I just want to make sure that we have this straight. So you think these people, I just want to make sure that I have your fear.
Yeah.
Correct. So you think that these Christian nationalists could gain popularity in America? They could win votes. They could not have any of the lobbying that Trump got. They would not get any of the lobbying, any Jewish lobbying at all. They would still win. You think that the person who owns, if you collected, I don't even know how you would do that. If you would calculate all of the, big, at least in terms of asset under management, you would put all of the Jewish interests.
You're mixing.
Don't be brought together.
I don't understand why you're mixing. The political voting. No. I don't understand why you're mixing what Jew owns what percentage of the stock exchange. And these Christian nationalists who are going to change laws, write laws, appoint judges who are going to undo secularism in this country, and who are going to undermine separation of church and state, and who have told us explicitly they want to undermine the checks and balances of the Constitution in favor of a biblical model. They're going to put 10 commandments in the courthouses. They're going to not teach evolution. They're going to teach creationism in science class.
You don't have to keep doing that. Listen. So are you now making an argument that money and financials don't tie into political moving? Is that what you're saying? Certainly.
Of course they tie in.
Yeah.
The Christian nationalist movement has enough money without Jewish support, and tons of the people that supported Trump are Christian nationalists. Trump isn't himself, but he says things that Christian nationalists love, and they supported him.
So you think that it is more likely that the Jewish and Republican or Christian, whatever, interests, they align. Like, would you agree that, like, it's a win-win? Like,
No.
like Zionism?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think it's bad. I think it's bad for everybody except Christian nationalists.
Wait. So,
I think the rise in Christian nationalism is anti-everybody except Christians and a particular brand of Christianity. They want a theocracy.
okay. And how do you think that would play out if America pulls out of Israel?
I don't know. A lot of the Christian nationalist movement is America first, which is they have a particular foreign policy view that says let's stop sending our money over there. Those Christian nationalists are not necessarily the bigger Christian evangelical Zionist movement, right? So I think you overstate the importance of Zionism. You're trotting out a talking point that the anti-Semites use to tell us about how really influential Zionism is and how influential the Jews are. Be careful,
Certainly
Chase.
is influential. It is.
Be careful.
They definitely
Be careful.
No, don't
Be careful.
Don't try to manipulate me. Don't do that.
No, be careful. You're trying.
Be
Be
careful.
careful.
Listen,
Careful.
I don't care. Listen, you just said it yourself. You think that Trump is a Christian nationalist.
No, I didn't.
You
What I
think that?
said is no.
Okay.
I said he's not a Christian nationalist, but he says a lot of things that Christian nationalists like.
Okay.
And he appoints Christian nationalist judges appointments. And he gets them in their in his cabinet.
So you think that he acts as a Christian nationalist?
I think he
Now we have one lesson.
I think he thinks that there's a cache of votes that he can get from Christian nationalism that is good for him, that helps him get over the top. I think that's actually bearing itself out in voting. Yes, I think he is.
Okay, so
I think he is.